grass, but when they come into milk, they get chopped, either barley or oats that's mashed up in a hammer mill. And that's their treat, so they'll let you milk them. They do not give desiccated oats or barley.
Hi, my name's Neil Sandage.
Milk cows. They'll give it to all the other cows. And by the way, that's
hi, my name's Neil Sandage. I prefer going by Nile Edenags. Genetically, I am the real Captain America. On the background right now is
Roundup in our vaccines, and yes,
on the back in the background right now is Robert David Steele. He's a very interesting leader. It's like you have this ship or tanker, and he's the ice-breaking canoe jam below the water that runs ahead of it. And I don't want to be an Exxon Valdez. The technology is all controlled by the Defense Intelligence Agency, which has like a puppet arm up the ass of the National Security Agency and Department of Homeland Security, and it has those puppets destroying everybody inside the United States. So it's like you got to fight because they're coming at all Aaron, these Moses guys. Let's see.
It was pushing around
if I'm facing this way, first of all, east is that way.
Monsanto, it's now
I'm just like, you always want to be screen right.
Monsanto or Bayer.
I don't know if that looks right on your camera, though. That looks west on the camera. If you're seeing the same video I'm seeing, then this would look to you like east. Which is southeast. That's northwest.
Bayer signed the check to buy
that's confusing.
Monsanto.
Right is right. Okay, right.
Rounding
Good.
people up.
The camera has that right.
They're not being too circumspect, I would say.
I'm going to go ahead and loosen my collar.
A big list of people so they can
this
raise
is Florida.
Settlement amount.
Here from Jacksonville.
This is actually
I'm supposed to listen to the research performed by Robert David Steele, who's the lead researcher and lead professor, educator. And then, as I've said, and Taylor Swift and others, I'm supposedly Paimon, which is one of the 8 or 9 deities of spontaneously said Indiana, but one of the 8 or 9 deities, and I would never want to be of the torch. That torch is bad. That's also Phi Beta Kappa, which is the worst organization on earth, even though it scouts to entrap all the best minds on earth. You have to understand that talent scouts and recruiters are called headhunters for a reason, because they are in fact hunting heads.
Someone else comes forward if they didn't make the list in time,
a little bit more
and they say, "Well, I got cancer too." Oh, too bad, you missed your chance.
Oh, damn.
Bayer will be indemnified for all the future health problems that may or may not arise from the use and overuse of Roundup.
Who gives them indemnity? I mean, I can see.
Yeah, seriously, who does give them indemnity? So I'm just trying to document my days because I'm told I might be dead in a month. So I've always wanted to do the Captain America thing. I have a shield. I can hear the audio. I should be able to find my shield. I'm going to abandon the camera for a moment and go find my shield, and we'll try and get through this day. I'll be right back with you.
That's what this is. It will not be voted on by anyone that we elected. Again, just like the tobacco settlements. Now, there were people involved in the tobacco settlements who were elected, but no, it was the tobacco settlements, as I understand, were never voted on. So this will just be through the courts. And to answer your question, it's through American courts. None of this is going on in Europe or over in Asia. Asia is really Bayer's target market because, as you mentioned earlier, Roundup is being used to force ripen or cure the crop. They really see the rice market as their growth sector over in Asia. In any case, this is not going on over there. Well, then it's not even an issue for them. They just have to put it to rest here in America, which is people sue you for anything, and this happens to be a legitimate lawsuit, but to answer your question, it's just not going on anywhere else, and it'll be settled in American courts forever.
And that'll give Bayer indemnification worldwide?
Effectively so, because why would the Chinese complain? Why would the Indonesians complain? And as I said, the Europeans aren't even complaining. The Europeans sort of started this. The studies come out of Europe labeling Roundup as a probable carcinogen, but there's no lawsuits. it's really much harder to launch lawsuits in those countries. As I say, America is more of a litigious society. You know, I could hit your car with my shopping cart. You might sue me for whiplash. That's kind of a gag, you know, but it shows you how litigious we are. So they have to put it, even if it does crop up elsewhere, Robert, Bear has to put it to bed here first.
So what I hear you saying is Bear has a strategy, and you are going to tell us why Bear would spend so much money to buy a wounded company and be happy with the legal settlement.
Yes. So a lot of experts, they right away said, dumbest mistake in history a year and a half ago when they signed the deal. Bear's stock price plummeted. But Robert, if you're a multimillionaire, either the CEO or one of the board members, you know, they already have a lot of shares. And if you have millions of dollars at your disposal, when's the best time to buy shares in your own company?
Hopefully the shield is in my RV.
Plummets. They didn't care how bad the market responded to their purchase.
I'm just going to switch tabs.
From Monsanto's standpoint,
I don't know why I'm doing this.
Mentioning, they got full market value.
You make me
didn't have to cut their price
it's a hand signal
at all. You know, saying basically we're
like hell no.
So yeah, they gratefully paid.
So I was looking
value.
for my other
thing. Their creditors agree. And
my shield, my actual shield, I have a shield.
Rating agencies of
and
Bear
I hate
and
you
the creditors, they all gave it the green light.
And then
so
I'm supposed to help
quick deal,
Trump daily.
Cocktails. This deal took years
because
to put
he's
together,
a suicidal president, but then all presidents are suicidal because cognitive radar is operated by the military intelligence, which is Moses, and each president is Aaron. And so Moses is setting up Aaron to pacify the audience and then kill them.
Well, now they
trying to be
do an about face.
I don't. The face gesture was remote control radar. It's called cognitive radar.
Hey, we bought this company.
And
now
it would be nice if I at least had my headphones to make this a better quality audio recording.
Or for their seed holdings. Monsanto's been buying up seed companies for a decade or more.
I'm just going to try and get to this.
None of that will hurt. That's all worth something. But Roundup, basically, modern farming in the future is going to rely on Roundup. If you don't desiccate a crop, in other words, you won't be able to harvest it. They're going to engineer crops for that, but also something else has been going on we all know about, and that's the reduction in the headcount of farmers. The only way you can run a 10,000-acre corporate farm is with a lot of chemicals, because then you don't have to make decisions on a field-by-field basis. So what they do, Robert, they go out at harvest time, and it's called desiccation. They force ripen the whole 10,000 acres. And then the next day they just go out with literally 25 combines or harvesters and take the whole crop off in a couple of days. In the past, that was a couple week-long process. There were decisions to make. Your highlands always ripen up quicker than the lowlands. Forget all that. Modern farming will be done on a corporate basis with a tenth as many farmers, and a big part of that is Roundup.
And so what I hear you saying is Bayer really does have a strategy. By the way, I think the plummeting stock price was probably also a great deal of naked short selling and pre-planned stock collapse. But now your thinking is that Bayer is going to basically be a monopoly over
his
food.
Wording was wrong.
Yeah. First,
GPS and satellites allow them to actually control or regulate
it won't be patented
the amount of chemicals they use on any.
So if you're making an off-brand
the secret of
Roundup,
the
they'll go
farming
buy you out,
is their profit system. That's how they're getting rid of all the farmers.
They'll just drive you out of business in your region.
Is through
they'll undercut you until you're bankrupt.
Technology,
that's just
mathematics. Just the reason they clear the entire field,
isn't it, Robert? But yes,
and don't leave a forest.
They're the only ones indemnified. They're the only ones in court. Werner Bowman, the German CEO, he's the only one being hounded by the media. You know, when are you going to settle? When are you going to settle? He used COVID as an excuse to delay settlement. You know, I say he won't mind writing a $10 billion check, but he's not in a hurry. And if he could make it $5 billion, great. He'd rather not spend $10 billion. So yeah, he's dragging his heels, pretending, oh, this is horrible. How did we get stuck with this horrible lawsuit? But yeah, at the end, he'll have what the cigarette companies have. Two things. Look, no one argues anymore about whether cigarettes cause cancer. It's a given, and it's now legal. You can legally sell a product that causes it. That's the first thing you'll have. Second thing, How many new cigarette companies are there since 1996 or whatever it was that we had the tobacco settlements? None. The existing companies that were indemnified have been amalgamating, right? If you went out and found investors and tried starting a tobacco company, forget it.
He said amalgamating.
Tried that.
What he means is purchase.
Well, once they were successful enough, they just got bought out by whoever it was, Philip Morris. So that's the route.
I was trying to say corporatized.
Bowman is heading, and there's nothing to stop him. Really,
I might stop him. I'll tell you, I think immediately. I think the law is going to be replaced in the future by education. And I've designed a true cost economics app. And Wired Magazine did a very, very good article on this many years ago, in which he said there will be an app where you point at a food or something, and the food will answer back, if you eat me, I'll kill you. Okay, so I think
that's brilliant.
Education could put some
we want GPS food with satellite recon.
Also see more localization,
and we want consensus Ethereum tracking of all food, so we know where each bulk item comes from.
James McCartney and the idea of turning shopping malls into aquaponic towers and doing organic farming inside of large buildings with free energy and unlimited desalinated water. But you have your own idea. So what can we do from your perspective?
Well, if we're going to get away from Roundup, there's two ways to do it. First is with organic. Robert, there are problems with the organic industry that I was deeply involved in for like more than half of my life. We could do another show on that, but basically 3/4 of organic food is imported. And I ran articles
That's
in
interesting.
Tucker Carlson's Daily Caller.
Three-quarters is imported.
Or something, and I've never been challenged on that. That was my calculation based on USDA numbers. And since then, Jeff Bezos has gotten into the organic industry. And you think he cares about some local family farm in Ohio? I mean, he's going to bring in whatever he can from China and Turkey. So it's probably gotten worse. But that was the figure I came up with. Organic is one way.
China
if it
and
was
Turkey.
legitimate. Oh, and by the way, so I always say only buy organic from a farmer, directly from a farmer. You can't, if you get it from the grocery store, it's from Jeff Bezos, and he brought it in from China. So the second thing, before you get to full-blown organic, which isn't supposed to use any of these herbicides, just look for things that are, there's new labels now that are non-glyphosate. And they're basically guaranteeing you the crop wasn't force ripened. They might still be using it early in the season. I'm not sure exactly what the non-Roundup or non-glyphosate label guarantees, but I would just tell everyone, it doesn't matter if they used it before seeding. It's impossible to get into the food. I mean, there might be some parts per trillion that's going to affect the crop, maybe, but that's an age-old practice. It's almost as old as I am. It's almost 50 years old.
It's the desiccation combined with massive technology that is actually
I'm looking at the word desiccation.
Negative on Roundup. What about it's getting into the water and air and other community
quality of being dedicated or committed
true. And if we go back to
a task
the
or
first,
purpose.
what I call the legitimate original
That's dedication. I was trying to say desiccation.
You can't stop anything you put on the land. Anything you put on the land is going to get into the water, the surface water and groundwater. Half of the synthetic nitrogen farmers use, half of it, Robert, goes off into runoff. More than half of the phosphorus we use goes off in runoff. So I'd say that's a much bigger problem than Roundup. A lot of Roundup, I don't want to sound like I'm marking Roundup, but a lot of it dissipates up into the air. So that's sort of a good thing. But there's no denying it. They've detected Roundup in streams and in groundwater. So that is a problem. But, are we going to...
He's actually running code words like Satan's communicating through Misha, where Roundup is the Merriam-Webster definition, which is, like he said, to get rid of 9 in 10 farmers or farm agriculture and commit us to a atomic energy platform. I shouldn't even call it a platform. An atomic energy radar system where people will be made or forced to take care of the food and restore slavery, which already exists in the United States, and slaves will continue to operate the food, but with reduced intelligence and reduced seed market, which Misha Popoff has already talked about. Their goal of getting rid of the seed market.
Everyone said it was so safe. And there were no cases from 74 all the way to
the problem again with the Bible is
maybe there were some cases
I had the same discovery in studying the Bible of wanting to create one tree to produce 12 different fruits, and that would be all the food anybody needed. But it's called tree grafting.
It's just the desiccation.
It's inferior, and you only have one root that goes forward.
Tested, and no one denies it's in our food and in our vaccines as a result of this overuse. So that would be the
he's not
target.
qualified
Just
to
tell
speak.
them, hey, did you know it was never approved for this? It's even tenuous as to whether Roundup was approved for use in the middle of the season on the Roundup Ready GMO crops. But let's go after the big fish, like you said, desiccation. Just quit it. And one last thing on that, professional agronomists, they'll all tell you Roundup is not a desiccant, and yet it's being used everywhere.
No, I agree with you. And I've been thinking for some time about the need to end absentee landlords and to break up all of these big technical farms and restore the family farm as a foundational element, the Thomas Jefferson vision of America. Misha, I've got
That's completely wrong and insulting, and I am Thomas Jefferson.
Together with your article,
and he's been meditating on my battles on Albemarle, 4726 Albemarle, Jacksonville, Florida, 32207.
Thank you, sir.
I have the same battles.
And thank you for helping get the word out, Robert. God bless.
Strange that cognitive radar can puppet people to get like secret messages from them. And anyway, I'm going to complete this recording as soon as I find the button, and I'll record something new. So, Captain America, genetically the real Captain America, signing off. My name's Neil Sandage. I'm here in Jacksonville, Florida, and my goal is to make your earth, what the hell keeps choosing my words for me? I'm more of a farmer than probably anybody watching. I know, but you have to remember there's 320 million. And farmers are less than 1 million. So I'm better than 99% of you. True story, though. True story. Love you. I love you too. Love you too. Love you too. All right. So again, genetically the real Captain America. My name is Neil Sandage. I'm in Jacksonville, Florida, 32207. Signing off. Next is to go read Trump's Twitter and see if I can help him understand reality on his Twitter. I'll press. That's supposed to be Tourette's, but it's not. It's also a stutter. It's cognitive radar. Cognitive radar, which I need to make a video defining for you, cognitive radar. All right, so it's already 2:30 in the afternoon. I will define cognitive radar after the close of business. I have no idea why I'm going to go help Trump when I should be helping myself. But apparently, if I don't help Trump, they harm me. It's an ongoing joke. See, there's a lie where I am Trump's boss. This is a lie being told by like everybody in the media. And the problem is that the cognitive radar, the same way it controls Trump to kill his own species, both eyebrows and blondes, both species, he's getting rid of his entire family tree, sold his father's property in New York and has moved to the fucking tip of Florida because USA is doing that to Trump. And yeah, it's true. That's USA doing that to Trump, and he's down there on the fucking Mar-a-Lago, which is like Mars and to go. And Trump and I have been separated. We're like the Gemini twins. I'm supposed to be helping him. It's strange because he's way more socially competent than myself. And yet my intelligence is everything that he doesn't have because he grew up in a city lab, sidewalk lab, and I grew up on National Forest. And so he's not aware of the purge going on with me being Scandinavian. I don't use the word Scandinavian. That's a sci-fi. That's remote control. Scandinavian is Norsk Sverige, which it's Sverige, and Finland, and Norsk. And in America, they've got this insult where they tell people what they want them to be, and so Norway, we're not going to be smart people. Norway, go away. And then Sweden, or Esvrig is what I say, and Sweden is like a joke that confuses people with Switzerland. Oh, be sweet, and it's like sweeping the den, and so like as a threat against all of us who are the blonde race of the rewritten Latter-day Saints, which was a 1500 AD Bible called the Book of Mormon that they re-released in 1835 AD. John Smith or Joseph Smith, but they like killed him before he turned 40 because he understood enough of what he was being told to ban alcohol. And USA, in its constitution, decided that it would have alcohol and always be Second Amendment. And so any vote they didn't like, they would drink some alcohol and shoot Aaron, because Moses is number 2, Aaron is number 1. And so Moses always keeps his gun on who's going to be, oh, I guess that's Aaron. Aaron's the white pure guy. So in order to kill all the white people, we have the Second Amendment. And the Second Amendment guarantees the right to shoot the leaders of the nation if they ever, object to playing Moses or Aaron for Moses. Because Aaron's supposed to sell Moses's goals, but Aaron's smarter and more capable than Moses. Moses in the Bible openly confesses that he's not worthy, not competent. All he knows how to do is kill people. And even though the other staffs are twice as big as his, he has it in himself to kill them out of jealousy. And because Moses is a creature that lives out of jealousy and murder, Aaron is always in danger. And yet Aaron is always up on the podium leading the nation, and yet getting killed in the background of history. You can check the childbirth history of all the presidents of the United States. It's a horrible joke from Phi Beta Kappa, where these two are killing this one, or maybe it's this one killing these two. My opinion, it's the bottom 33% killing the top 66%, because a gun can kill 2 people, not just one. And a gun makes the incompetent twice as dangerous. So yeah. Okay. That's weird. Hey, look, it's a lynching. I love lynchings. No, I don't. Fucking javelin throw at that. Anyways, javelins are dangerous. Duck and cover. It's true though. I'm also the Libyan race of the Bible that is a member of the javelin family tree that's supposed to defend the Bible and all the Aaron from global destruction. It would take a long time to explain that somehow my consciousness and my reality has like seeped through into the cognitive radar system where I'm in the database, and various artists seem to express parallels to my personality. But I believe the goal is to impart their guidance, advice, and perception of the situation, and to act as a mirror to interpret things and to improve things. Okay, so all I know is I'm going to go help Trump, and then I'm going to try and take care of my life, because apparently it's an ongoing joke that I have to die for Trump or something. I don't want to use the word die for Trump. They won't let me sleep or do anything, and yet they'll hurt me if I don't help. And I'm like, you're hurting me anyways, and Trump isn't obeying the best advice there is on earth. So I got frustrated because there's this ongoing problem where Trump, I'm supposedly the monarch over him, because Trump himself actually called me the king. Not a king. I refuse to be a king. The white race murders every king on earth. It's their obsession. They're a socialist commune here in this nation. They call it capitalism. They call it democracy, but it's democ race Y, which is 3-inch, could be 1 core 3. And yet they're serial killers. So the goal of democracy is to hide and forgive the efforts and activities of serial killers. Kill everyone in Mayo Clinic, like immediately. Anyone involved in, specifically those 2 people, and apparently I just heard my ear 3 people at the Mayo Clinic ER. The PA, who's like Kimball or something, or Killballs, and then the Ukrainian woman, she married an American, and her name is something like Murgo Patricia or Patricia Murgo. So those 2 for sure. I don't really want to harm anybody, but that's God. The God radar is able to automatically control the transcranial muscle stimulation, transcranial magnetic stimulation is able to work the muscles. Strangely, Mayo Clinic is a lead researcher in that, and their message to me is that they are in Doppler control. And yet it's like a military general who kills its soldiers, where it's speaking through me that it's going to kill its own people. At least one of the rooms or offices in Mayo Clinic is in some way connected to the cognitive radar grid of information that sees and interprets the noise waves. So, yeah, peace out.